Hello YouTube. This is the Pumpspy installation that I did here. I just wanted to go and make this video because when I was trying to do the install, I couldn't really find a video where there were any detailed installation guide. So I will go ahead and show you guys what I did here. So basically, before I started here, all I had is my one sump pump, which is this right here. There was just one pipe going all the way down to the primary pump, which is this one right here, which would be this pump right here that you see here. So now this pump does have a electronic water switch, so it doesn't really have a float, so to speak. But the only thing was that I didn't really have a backup. So let's say if something happens to this primary pump, then I probably get flooded. So what I went ahead and did is I actually bought this Pumpspy kit here, as you can see. Now this kit was on Amazon for $499. It came with the secondary pump that you see over there, the black pump, that one right there, and it came with like this little water sensor that you basically see. Let's see if I can get close to it. You see these little two white sensors. So the top sensor is actually for the alarm. So the water level rises above that, it will go off, and the lower switch is for the secondary pump. So the secondary pump, when the water level rises and trips that switch, then this black pump will basically kick on. So now the setup of it, this is the confusing part that I basically kind of needed some help on. So I'll go over the installation first. So the installation of this was I did it by myself, and it took me like about 3.5 hours or so. But I've actually never really messed with some pumps in my life, so this is actually the first time I ever really touched any of these. But so what I'll tell you is what I did is what you want to do is so you'll get the pump right there in some Pumpspy kit. You get the pump, you get the sensors, and you get this battery case, and obviously with the attached terminals. So that's what you get. So what you'll have to do is you'll have to buy a battery, which I have in here. Shit, I think I locked it, so I can't open it. But yeah, so there's a battery in there, Pumpspy battery I bought. It was also on Amazon. That one was for $190, I think, or something like that. So $190 for that, and $499 for this system. Plus, I had to buy this PVC pipe. I had to buy the there's a little thread connector right there that I had to buy. The pipe goes into that, and then I had to buy the check valve, which is right here. There is a 90-degree elbow, and then there it goes into the Y connector. So I went ahead and you have to measure everything, so make sure your measurements are right on. So I think this was the most time-consuming part, the measurement. So once you have the measurements all figured out, then you can cut the pipe, install this, attach both of these original pipes. Now make sure that your check valves are actually below the Y connector. So at no point you want to basically put these, like, let's say up there. No, so it has to be right down here, right before the Y fitting. And then going down, now the problem was that over here where the pump, so my pit is actually pretty small. This is actually not a big pit to begin with. Second of all, I actually had to put if you can see in the corner there's a little tiny brick I actually had to put underneath my secondary pump, because you don't want to actually put the pump right on the floor of the actual pit, because there's a lot of junk, dust, and grime and all kind of shit that'll mess up your pump. So that's what I did. I put a little brick there and did a dry fit. So once you basically think you have it all So do a dry fit. So you fit everything dry and make sure everything lines up correctly, and then you take the PVC glue, and basically go ahead and start from there. Glue that. This is a check well. Obviously you don't want to glue anything here, because this is basically, if I ever need to replace the secondary, I would just undo this right here, pop this pipe out, pop the pump out, and then I can put the new pump back in. So yeah, make sure you don't really glue anything to the check valve, because you don't need to do that. And then now the elbow and the Y connector, obviously you need to glue these because the water is going to be traveling through these. So make sure they're nice and tight. So as you can see, it made a little boo-boo there because like I said, I was doing it alone, and you just kind of need to move fast when you're dealing with the PVC glue to begin with. Now on to the setup. So once you do the installation, okay, once you have both of the pumps down here and you're ready to plug these in, so now first what you want to do is, first thing is that your primary pump, which is this guy right here, primary, it plugs into the Pumpspy, which is right here. So this is the primary pump that with the float switch. So this is the float, this is the actual pump. Okay, both of them, they're plugged into the Pumpspy network, or Pumpspy hub here. And then this right here, I think the red button, the red connector is for the lower float, which actually kicks off the secondary pump, and the green one I think is for or it might be vice versa. So one of them actually right here, these floats right here. So one of them is responsible for kicking off the backup pump, which is the lower one, and the top one is for just the alarm that it'll go off, if the water level rises above that. Now, so yeah, so both of these, just plug it in. They're color coded, pretty simple. Pop them back in, pop it in here, and then the white one. So this guy right here is actually the secondary pump. Okay, so now I was having a hard time when I was trying to Google this shit. There's no instruction or anything. There's instructions, but they're not really that clear. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys get it. Your primary pump plugs in here, and your secondary pump also plugs in this puppy. Okay, now, and then there's a wire that comes out of here that plugs into the outlet. Okay, so once you do that, then this is actually a complete setup here. Now you see all my lights are actually green here, but the idea is that once you plug this in, then you just have to follow the instructions on the paper. You have to install the Pumpspy app and connect this hub to the app, which was a pain in the ass. For whatever reason, it doesn't actually catch. It doesn't want to connect. So I had to go on their website. There's an IP address that they provide, so you just go on there and just add that on there. So I did that, and after that it just connected. So once you do that, then you can see all the activity in the app. Every time the pump runs, every time the backup runs, the water level is not normal. Let's say there is a disturbance with the Wi-Fi. So all this activity is logged into an app that you can go ahead and see. So let's say if you're on vacation, you're far away, you know that your basement is not going to be flooded or anything like that. So that's basically what it is. I just wanted to throw this out there. I did actually went ahead and I tweaked the cover of my sump pit. So if you can see here, I went ahead and cut this over a little bit, and so both of these pieces would actually go and fit together. Let's see if I can do this here. Yes, no, maybe. Yes. Aha! There we go. There we go. So yeah, I was able to. Basically, what I did is I just cut the cap in half. The one that was already there obviously was for just one pump, and the reason why you see it like this is because I had to move the one pump to fit the other pump in there. So that's why, you know, now, so poked a little holes here in the cover, and now I'm able to actually fit this over. The sump pit, there's, you know, there's sometimes if you leave this open, you know, you could have stuff drop it in there, sand, dust, other particles in the basement floating around. Also, sometimes you get that misty, you know, smell from the, sometimes you go to somebody's basement and you get that misty, kind of watery, moldy smell. So yeah, just to avoid all that, make sure you cover the pit, and it's all good to go after you do that. So yeah, this is you know, this is obviously time consuming. If you could get somebody to do it, or if you're gonna DIY it, then this is the way to do it. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I did attach all the wires back the best I could. It's just a bunch of wires and shit. There's so many wires. There's like you know, basically 5 wires here, and then the 6th one goes in there or something like that. So there's a lot of wires. Just do your best to attach them all. Make sure everything is out of the way. Nothing is, you know, in the way in the pit when these pumps are running. And yeah, hopefully this helps somebody out, because when I was trying to search for this, trying to buy this, I just didn't know how this would fit. I was like, well, does this, you know, how does this, so the primary actually plugs in there, secondary also plugs in there, and then this actually plugs into the actual outlet. The app actually also tells you if something is wrong with your battery. So if your battery is not holding a charge or whatever, you would get that notification in the app as well. So I think it's well worth the investment. You know, 500 bucks, definitely not cheap. I mean, I debated just putting 2 pumps in there, brand new. Probably would have been like maybe 300 some dollars, but it's just peace of mind, and I think, you know, over time it'll just pay for itself. So sounds good, guys. Thanks for watching.